I've dabbled in modding games before. If you'd bother to take a look at my channel for 5 seconds, you'd see that. I, too, stared down the barrel of a functionally bricked family computer because I tried to install Minecraft mods at age 10, and I'm no more competent at age 20. A mod generally exemplifies a community or an individual's love for a game, and I don't think I've ever seen a more loving community than that of Marvel vs. Capcom. I've stated in the past I've always been more of a fan of MVCI than MVC3, though playing it a bunch for the last 2 community case files, my perspective has become skewed. I decided to get back into Infinite, and hey, I had already modded Marvel 3, so why not mod Infinite, right? Saying base game MVCI was a travesty to look at would be an understatement. It looks so bad I'm not even humoring the idea of uninstalling the mod to get footage of it. I'll spare both of us the eyesore. What I needed was a reason to get back into it. A way to talk about the game without having to mention its massive tumors that seem to permeate every discussion. What I needed was to go beyond. Has anyone else pointed out that that's a Toy Story reference, or am I the first? No way I'm the first. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond is a mod headed by Capcom community member Maximillion Dood. If you're watching this, I probably don't need to explain who he is. Call him the GOAT, call him a hack, doesn't matter. His podcast got me through high school. Max made it clearer than I ever could. Beyond is not making a new game. It's lifting up the rest of the game to match its gameplay. Even in 2017, most people knew Infinite fucked. Gameplay-wise, I don't think anyone wants relations with Captain Shoulders over there. With an accessible combo game, awesome tag mechanics, and a third thing to follow the rule of 3, most came away from Infinite's short life with glowing praise, yet also great concern. Long story short, the gameplay was good. The roster? More mixed. And when I say mixed, I mean... Oh, people bombed your house. The lack of the X-Men was seen as the biggest insult Capcom could have possibly given us. And that's saying something, because they just made the Capcom Pro Tour pay-per-view. This came out of that weird time where Marvel was devaluing the brand of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men because they wanted Disney to buy the properties back from Fox so that they could be featured in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In fact, the MCU acts as a big shadow looming over Infinite. Characters were forced in just because they had MCU projects either in the works or already out, and those not featured in the movies were viewed as tertiary. But hey, they gave me Venom, so I'm happy. I am very easy to please. The point is that Beyond isn't giving us Wolverine. It's saying, Nova's sick though, so let's make him look sick. And so we begin my week with MVCIB and continue my attempts to become a store brand Leon Massey. Day 1 was mainly spent gawking at the custom artwork and playing the arcade mode to unlock colors. I learned one thing very fast. Venom and Spider-Man have the coolest colors in the game. Half of the reason I made this video is to show off how fucking sick this toxin color is, oh my god. Another thing I learned fast, this mod has a problem with the little things. The 2 Ultron bosses didn't get redrawn artwork for the CSS, and characters like Ryu don't match. He's got his hair from the base game in Street Fighter V on the select screen, but in-game he's got more of an alpha look going. Spider-Man not matching upsets me personally as a Superior Spider-Man fan. The CSS art still shows Superior with all of his alt colors, but you go into the game and it's Spider-Verse City. At that point, didn't you waste Kazan's time? Regardless, the artwork is fantastic. If some characters looked exactly like how they did in this 2D artwork, I'd play them on visuals alone. In terms of actual experience, Day 1 was spent mainly in arcade and training mode. I never played MVCI on Steam, so most of my time was just unlocking colors to see how cool they looked. Day 2 strikes. I'm ready to play with people. I pick 2 characters I like, who I know how to play. Synergy? Never heard of her. I lab my Venom combos, remember the entirety of Winter Soldier's neutral, and go to play online. Oh, this game's still a graveyard. Yeah, so even with the improvements made to visuals, many of which you'll see mentioned on Steam reviews as a reason to play the game, MVCI is still a Discord fighter. It doesn't help that this game came right before rollback was an industry standard, so on the off chance I got a rando floating through casuals like I was, it wasn't likely to be a very pleasant experience. So the day was the same. Arcade mode, training mode, arcade mode, combo trials, arcade mode, more combo trials. Yeah. But anyway, I was sick that day, so I went to bed and slept for the rest of day 2. On day 3, I knew I needed help. I had expected this to be more of a new experience overall, but fitting with the mission statement, behind all the pretty new colors was still MVCI, a game that I can now say sort of feels off. Characters slip and slide around the screen, and hits can feel kind of weightless, owing largely to the sound design at times. Hitting some characters feels great. Hitting Iron Man feels like hitting my computer, which is half empty. I don't know why it's so big if only half of its space is used. Of course, all of this still applies to the positives. I'd personally say Infinite is the most accessible game in the series. Picking only 2 characters in your favorite gemstone of choice reduces the complexity getting in, and allows the tag system to make your characters intertwined like never before. But the game is still MVCI. Fancy bells and whistles can only go so far. I could have very easily scrapped this video and worked on something else, but that toxin color kept giving me looks I couldn't quite deny. So I did the first thing that came to mind. I paid for someone else to get the game and walked him through installing the mod. It was a hassle, so this is the PSA part of the video. You have to install both the mod itself and a hotfix that fixes the online function. They only say that the hotfix fixes the mod-specific mode, but it also lets the online work. It's barely 400 megabytes, you'll be fine. Just install it exactly like you did the mod. This was actually a pretty unique chance. He had never played an MVC game, let alone a traditional fighter beyond Mortal Kombat. Marvel is a big first step to take, and I'm happy to say he did it pretty well. He definitely got better as he played, and he would only improve as the days went by. Day 4 was another day spent playing with my friend, alongside a bit of arcade mode, and learning Spencer. Man, it's crazy that him being here is the entirety of Bionic Commando's legacy. They gave a white man dreadlocks though, so maybe they deserve it. Learning him while keeping him paired with Venom gave me an insight on how such a thing changes how you have to interact with the tag system. Bucky gets to throw out some gunfire and you can safely tag in from there. Spencer may have an analog to his grenades in the form of his... grenades. Can you tell Capcom didn't really know what to do with Winter Soldier? But the grenade was never Bucky's main way of getting his partner in safely, and Bionic Commando over here doesn't have anything equivalent. You can use Hook, but it doesn't give much value, and anything else leaves him at risk of being hit. And I mean, you can use Death from Above, but no one who knows what they're doing is getting hit by that. Between having an overhead and superior mobility thanks to Hook, though, Spencer is overall better, at least for me, on point, and as such becomes scarier when he's tagged in. I'll say I'm sad Bionic Arm doesn't go full screen to eviscerate Jedha like a coughing baby in the face of a hydrogen bomb, but hey-ho. I got really sick again on day 5, I wasn't feeling it. Somewhere between going to work and battling my own sinuses, I decided I'd check out Cross Frenzy, the new mode made for the mod. I didn't install the mod with Cross Frenzy in mind. Frankly, I hardly care for it. It's a nice little accoutrement, but it turns the game into more of a scramble fest than MVC normally is, and if I wanted to play Mario Party, I'd play Xrd against Slayer. Cross Frenzy is a mode that lets both characters be controlled on screen at the same time. In simple terms, 4 characters on screen at once. For a game I already know decently well, this gave me the feeling of day 1 with fighting games. Mashing the buttons and not really knowing what to do. What I settled on was treating one character as the guy to focus on and the other as a garnish. Venom and Spencer were actually pretty nice to this, as both have movement options on pressing 2 kicks, supers with nice range in the form of Death Bite and Bionic Arm, and command normals with forward heavy punch. In particular, holding the tag button lets you move only the first character you selected, i.e. Venom in this case. Combine that with him lacking his move on quarter circle back kick, and you can be doing a block string with Venom while Spencer chucks grenades from the other side of the screen. At my level, based on what I played, the strategy doesn't really change very much, save for the ability to tag out to stay safe, cause, I mean, that fucker's already on screen, there's no one to tag out with! You're still fundamentally playing MVCI, it's just that you have to deal with a computer who can move around a lot better than you can. But something I was curious about were the bosses. Ultron Sigma in particular doesn't have a partner, it's a 2v1. I deliberated on the possibilities. Would this be a much more literal 2v1, or a fight against 2 of them? Yeah, no, it was a fucking bloodbath, we kicked his ass. I'd get my comeuppance though, as Ultron Omega has been transformed into a raid boss in the vein of arcades of old. Essentially, it's always a 2v3. And one of that 3 is this fucking guy. He has an endless swarm of Ultron drones that fly in as soon as one is killed, all while he shoots beams and punches and sends out claws and voids your health insurance in the background. Killing the drones does nothing. It's hitting Ultron Omega that damages the health bar. I lost once and quit. I don't have any interest in mega hard games, and arcade-style bosses of old never really interested me. I think I beat the Nago boss in Strive to get a trophy on PS5, but that's the only time I've ever cared. At the end of my week, we enter the reflections phase. You might say, wait, between being sick on day 5 and making day 7 pure reflections, you've only played for 5 days. And to that I say, fuck out of here! Beyond absolutely elevates Infinite. I'd say there's hardly a reason to play the game without the mod unless you prefer your Dante looking like he got his face stepped on by a platform Mary Jane, but, you know, personal preference. I think at the end of the day that me having to bring along a friend is meaningful. In 2025, Marvel Infinite will never make the big comeback that I'm sure this mod hoped to give. What it can become is a damn good time. What can I say definitively now that my week with Beyond is over? That any game can become something special if you got the right people. Did I need the mod to make this point? Not necessarily. Did the mod improve the experience? I'd certainly say so. Is this something that MVCI specifically taught me? Not really. Can I wait to be able to breathe unobstructed? Not at all. I'm in so much pain. So, hit up a friend. Play whatever you want. I'm sure you'll have a blast.